few things to keep in mind during this Advent season, especially new converts, because this is who this video is directed towards. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. It's Advent. Great time of the year. We're all waiting for Christ. You know, the celebrations. There seems to be quite an uptick of new converts, which is phenomenal, and that's why I'm making this video. So if you're just gonna bear with me, let's be real for a second. If you're a new convert, there are a few things that I think need to be kept in mind. By the way, this is Nani's unsolicited advice. So welcome if you're new. If you're not new, welcome. We still love you guys. But there seems to be a trend of everybody wanting to share their stories about, I became Catholic because, let me drop my testimony. And your story is probably amazing. I'm not here to shoot that down. But honestly, I think that's the fastest way to lose your footing. Because realistically speaking, as somebody who's new coming into the faith, I think one of the most important things you guys need to do is just take some time to ponder these things in your heart. Take some time to ponder these things in your heart. All too often, what we tend to see with new converts to Catholicism is your fire for the faith unmatched. I'll give it to you. You're fired up, but you're also highly emotional. And yeah, heaven is rejoicing over that, but that excitement isn't necessarily the same as formation. If you're not careful, what ends up happening is 2 years from now, you're going to be making a video. Yep, I left the Catholic Church, and this is why I left the Catholic Church. Completely misinterpreting doctrines, sacraments, pretty much everything that is designed on a very fundamental level to draw you closer to Christ. As I'd mentioned earlier, your conversion story is probably amazing, but it's also fragile because it's in the early stages. Think of like your sapling, you know? Your roots ungrounded. There's still so much for you to explore that I don't think it's wise to sit in front of a microphone and be quick to share your journey. You don't owe the internet your story, at least not right now. And I get it. With everything trending, it's very easy to wanna, I gotta ride the algorithm wave because that's the best way for my account to grow. But realistically speaking, even the Bible teaches us this. There's a responsibility that comes with choosing to teach the faith or share things about the faith, especially to the public. Now, this page is strictly Marian. I will always point you to the Blessed Mother because I know with 100% certainty that if you go there, you're gonna go straight to Christ in a much more beautiful way than you probably could get to Christ by yourself. That's why I like that. You know, there are a few things that we need to exercise, and I think Mary's a great example of this. Remember the fruits of the Spirit? I'll sing it with you. The fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. For such there is no law. Moral of the story, before you sit down, click the record button to create a video that will be the next hit. Just take a moment and just breathe. Ask yourself, why am I coming to the Catholic faith? The church is not designed to fulfill your desire to share your story. It's not designed to fulfill your desire to be reverent or bow down and worship. You could find that anywhere. The church is designed to draw you to one person, and that's Jesus Christ. He's at the fundamental of everything that we do, everything that the church is structured. So if you're currently in a phase where you're trying to discern and figure out discuss what this means versus what that means, and if the Catholic Church might be the right church for you, which I know it is. There's a right way and a wrong way to go about being a part of God's church. The unfortunate thing is everything under the sun could be used for evil, including your story. Understand that when you sit in front of a camera to share your story, when you've got absolutely zero foundation, you're basing your arguments off of what Pastor so-and-so said or what this priest said, without discovering the truth for yourself, you're creating a dynamic which might sound amazing at the start, but at the end of the day, the long-term outcome is most likely, because you're not grounded, you end up leaving. While you leave, you misinterpret so much about the church, and because you've built the habit of sharing every little part of your journey, it's like, oh, now you're leading a lot of people out. I like to call it food for thought. Like I said, this channel is predominantly Marian. That's the theme. That's where we like to go to. When she received a word about effectively being the first Christian, the angel Gabriel comes to her, "You are favored by God." Rather than publicizing the greeting, going out, sharing it with the apostles, her community, her family, she took a moment, exercised patience and self-control, and pondered that greeting in her heart. Because there's a time for everything. All too often, I think a lot of us have a tendency to rush that time for everything, especially when it comes to things of the faith, right? You can't rush depth. Depth is something that you build over time. Understanding is something that you build over time through exposure. It's like you've ever encountered that one math problem that you can't figure out, but because you sat down, looked at it, when you're doing dishes, something completely random, the solution just clicks. Last but not least, you can't rush a testimony that God is clearly in the process of writing, which is you. Now, I'm not saying don't share your story. Just take a moment, breathe, and recognize that, I haven't given myself enough time to experience what the fullness of the church has to offer. Whether you choose to take it, that's up to you. Whether you choose not to take it, that's up to you. I'm just out here saying I think your story will be stronger because you waited. Happy Advent season, and stay holy.